What is up? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? It's December 22nd, and I've got a squad with me. Can you see these handsome gentlemen? We're going to be getting into goals. We want to see you guys dominate. We want to see you crush your goals in 2022. What better way than bring some of the best from around the industry? I've got David Schroeder, EVP of Caliber Wholesale, hanging out with me this morning. You know him, you love him, you love hearing from him. He's a leader, he's an innovator, and he's going to be sharing some of his ideas. We got Ramon Sanchez, one of the top brokers from around the country, hanging out with us. Excited to hear his take on shredding 2022. And then, of course, we got Jeff Bartley, AE over at Caliber Wholesale. Guys, we're excited to have this crew. We're going to be sharing goals. We're going to help you guys. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are ready. You ready? Who's ready? I know I'm ready. I know these guys are ready. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Shred Show. And like I said, I am so excited to have the gentleman that I do here joining me today. It's going to be a great conversation as we approach the holidays rapidly. Actually, funny, Ramon and I, as we were getting ready for the show, it's crazy. It seems like it was just August. It seems like it was just halfway through the year. And now we're talking about Christmas. We're talking about the holiday, New Year's, right around the corner. It's just crazy. And David, I know you've been preparing for it. 2022 is upon us. And you guys at Caliber just continue to set the bar, continue to lead from the front and setting goals. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. We want to help all of our broker friends. We want to help our originator family get prepared on how to shred their goals in 2022, right?
That's exactly right. You know, it's that time of year, which is pretty exciting. And like we were saying, you can't believe that it's already December 22nd of the year. But you get a chance to look back on the successes of the year, what you can learn from, and then set it up. Because, look, I believe, and I think everyone here on the Hollywood Squares believes that we're set up for a bigger 2022. Because, look, Caliber dominates in purchase. That's what we do. That's what we've built this company around. And so that it's going to increase purchase volume if you look at all the projections for next year. So we're pretty darn excited about what's going on and this conversation today about how everybody can learn and benefit from that.
You're 100% right. We were actually talking about purchase market here just a second ago as we were getting ready for the show. People are moving. People are making moves. You know, whether it's you just looking for a new start, maybe it's with COVID, they're looking to make a change. Whatever it may be, there's opportunity to move. And us as mortgage professionals, this is our life. This is what we've been doing. And Ramon, I'm actually excited to have you on the show because, again, you are a veteran of this industry. You've been in it for, I won't tell everybody. I won't share. You shared with me how long you've been in this industry, but I'll let you share that if you would like. But before we get into this, you've been in this industry a long time. You've seen the ups, the downs. You've seen purchase markets come and go. You've seen refi markets come and go, but you're still in it and you're helping people achieve the dream of home ownership.
No, this has been a wonderful career, and I don't mind sharing how long I've been doing this. You know, I've been doing it for about 30 years, and and I literally I basically got out of elementary school and got right into the mortgage business. So, you know, it kind of feels that way. I don't really know anything other than the mortgage business, but yeah, this has been great. There's obviously been ups and downs, and today being a mortgage broker is a great thing. You know, if we go back, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, you know, a mortgage broker was being broker than other people at that time. But you know, this business runs in cycles. I've made a couple of strategic decisions over the years not to have all my eggs in one basket. So, and that's kind of helped me ride the wave with the mortgage world and the real estate world over all those years. And, you know, and I'm here now, and now we're in a great market. I'm excited about 2022. 2021 was a wonderful year for me and my family and my business. And we hit our goals, we hit our numbers that we wanted to hit. And, you know, we're looking forward to 2022. I think it's going to be a great year.
Yeah.
I think, go ahead, Dave.
Oh, I was just going to say, look, I mean, I'm just a believer that, you set goals, but the underlying part of achieving goals is the habits every day. And, you know, being in the business as long as you have, Ramon, are there, you know, a set of habits that either you or your team are doing every single day that help to drive your success, and particularly in the purchase side?
I think from my perspective, the habits are, this is just, it goes for a lot of people. Get up early. I get up early, I plan my days. We have a little process called the top three. We identify things that are important and that are, there's sometimes things that want to be urgent, but they're not as important per se. So, we have that in mind. And, we, as a team, we remind ourselves that we're blessed to do what we do. We have that attitude with our clients. We care. And, we plan our day to make sure that we accomplish whatever we need to accomplish. If it means we have to call someone 100 times to get it done, then that's the attitude that we have. And honestly, those are real simple things. Communication, pick up the phone, just do it and start early.
It seems like it's just those fundamentals, Ramon. Like it's those, sometimes we overcomplicate when it comes to goals. We're just like, oh, well, we got to reinvent the wheel, especially as mortgage professionals, especially in an industry that we work right now where there's lots of new technology, which we're going to be talking about in a second. There's lots of what I like to call shiny objects. So we can get distracted, but it goes back to what you're saying, Ramon. It's the block and tackling. It's the simple fundamentals. It's making the phone calls. It's getting up early. It's hustling. It's making those transactions, those things happen that we need to. And Jeff, being on the account executive side, I'd love to hear a little bit as you help your originators, as you help those teams really start preparing for a new purchase market. What's really on your mind, and what comes to mind when you're really helping your brokers out?
Well, I mean, it's anything going into relationships, right? We have to help them solve problems. I mean, we always have to understand that even in the wholesale space, for customers like Ramon, there's a borrower at the end of the transaction that we're helping with home ownership kind of thing, right? So we have to make the transaction easy for them. And, I always look at the 3 Ps of what I call wholesale. It's product, price, and process. And when you look at process, I'm not just talking technology. There's people in that process as well. And communication is key to that, right? Ramon just mentioned, hey, if they have to make 100 phone calls, at Caliber, we don't want Ramon to have to make 100. Right? We have to bring solutions to him to make sure close of escrow happens. It's a competitive market out there in the whole country right now. It's not just, we're in Southern California, but that I feel like that's changed over my 20 plus years doing this is, it's not California. Every market right now is, inventory's down and purchases are fighting for that deal, multiple offers, as we all know. So, solutions have to be at ease of transaction, which is the people part of it as well.
Yeah, I think that's a big, and David, I know people, we've talked about this with Caliber before. People are a big part of you guys, your culture, who you guys are at Caliber Wholesale, with Caliber Club. That's people are everything. So when it comes to goals in 2022 and the purchase market being so imminent, how do people actually play a role? How do people play a factor with you guys' goals at Caliber in this new year?
Yeah, I was just on a call earlier today with some of our top account executives, and I start with that our goals as a collective organization, they need to be everybody's goals. They can't just be one person who says these are the goals, because you got to have everybody bought into that. It's got to be at people's core if they're going to change their habits and give extra effort every day. So as a leader, I think that's one of the things you start with is whoever is on the team, you have to have a shared set of goals that everybody understands and agrees to. And secondly, understands their part. Look, I'm not doing the same thing that Jeff's doing every day to achieve our goals. And so, everybody's got to understand their role, hold each other accountable, and lift each other up to get it done. So, look, those are like you say, these are the fundamentals, no matter what business you're in, but they're especially true for us because there are so many roles to get something done.
Dude, that's so brilliant, because everybody sees the sign. I talk about it all the time. Teamwork makes the dream work. When it comes to achieving goals, especially in this industry, we all know, we've all been doing this long enough that it does take a team. You can't be a one-man band. Even if you are technically a one-man band or a small broker shop, it takes a team. It takes an incredible account executive. It takes a great lender partner. It takes a lot of people to get this transaction done. Ramon, being that you have done this for so long, and again, you understand that team element, do you have goals specific to, and I know you kind of talk about getting up early and kind of the fundamentals, but what goals in particular do you have when it comes to team and really achieving these goals in 2022?
Yeah, the biggest thing that we want to achieve as far as goals are concerned for 2022 is really the big focus for my team is to improve we're always trying to improve our communication with our clients. We're always trying to add with technology, that's a big key today. Having the technology to be able to make things easier and simpler. We're going to be competing against the Rocket mortgages out there and other companies that that have a lot more money than a small company like me is going to have. So, our big focus is going back to what Jeff was saying. It's pretty simple. It's a process. Our every week, where we talk about how do we do this week? What could we improve? And how can we make next week better? So from my perspective, our goal is just to continually improve literally week by week. And sometimes it's just day by day. It's small little improvements and those little tweaks that you make along the way that I think that just keep you moving in that direction to achieve goals.
Well, and I think that is a huge part of it. And Jeff, I love that you Ramon, you've kind of built with this. And Jeff, you mentioned this as well, being that it does take a team. And Ramon, you mentioned competing against the big box companies. I mean, Caliber is a huge company, but I think that's why I get excited with companies like Caliber and really when they get involved with their brokers and they help their originators is because those big boxers, they don't care. People are just numbers. People aren't actually relationships. It really breaks down to people like David mentioned and these relationships that really matter. But that's why having a lender partner like Caliber, that's why having these partners and having an account executive that can help you with technology, with these little efficiencies, that's what really makes the process so much smoother. Jeff, I know that's a big focus for you as an account executive.
Did I lose you, Josh?
No, are you still there?
You're there?
Yeah, I got you.
So as an account executive, being that is part of your guys' role and part of helping like Ramon and the team, what in particular are you excited about when it comes to technology and being able to make the broker's process more efficient?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, and it's funny how fast this industry's changed, right? I mean, I remember, 10 years ago, I would go into an office and there would still be lenders that we would be faxing stuff to mortgage companies, right? I mean, you go back next to a fax machine and as lenders being competitive, there would be a board next to the fax machine and the lenders would have their product of the day tagged up there. And I would take our flyers and put them over the next lenders, right? And my competitors were doing it to me, so it was okay. But, the technology has moved so fast. And, I think a big thing that's changed as well is, everybody or a lot of people, I think you look at your cell phone and you think, oh, it's a cell phone. I can call, text, and, email somebody from it. But it's way, way more than that, right? I mean, we all know if you really think about it, your phone, it's a full-on computer, and so just giving like Caliber, we offer a mobile app for us, right? People are on the move. Somebody like Ramon, he's not always just sitting in his office behind a computer for 10 days or 10 hours a day. He's out in the field working realtors. So just one thing like that, we have to deliver, real-time status on loans, right? Even to your handheld device, right? You need to be able to update a lock. You need to look at the status of it. So along with, a portal that you can sit at your office and look up and look for status of what did an LE go out? Did it get redisclosed? Where's the CD? I think that's just one piece. So that's going to continue to develop as we move forward. So, I think technology, even the mobile device is a huge win going forward.
Yeah, I just want to add to that, Jeff, because I think that's such a good point that, you look back 10, 20 years ago, the role of the account executive, was filling out pricing sheets, running flyers around, these kind of things. We got tech for all that. So now, when you think about goal setting, like Ramon was saying, that's where an AE can come in, is to really understand how to fully leverage what the lender has to offer. In Caliber's case, it's the portal, it's the products, these kind of things, to be a consultant, to be a thought partner in how you're building the business. What's the opportunity in the market and how do we uniquely fit into that to grow? The other thing I would say is, look, I'm obviously biased, but I think I got a pretty good perspective that we've got the best account executive group pound per pound in the business. And when you're talking about purchase, that's where the value comes in, because there's a lot of chefs in the kitchen on any purchase loan. You're going to depend on an account executive at some point to help move things along. And, again, we've got seasoned AEs that are committed. We've got an ops team that's committed to doing it. So again, we're all in this together. So this is the kind of time when you're talking about goals where the account executive and the whole team as a lender partner comes into play.
Oh, 100%. Ramon, as David's kind of mentioned it, Jess mentioned it, you kind of even mentioned it a little bit, but technology, there's a lot of efficiencies. We see a lot of things coming up, but I think technology continues to play a role. So many people talk about technology being like, oh, it's going to replace the originator. It's going to replace us as loan officers. I 100% disagree. I think in particular now, technology is there to help us become more efficient so we can actually interact and help our clients on this journey of home ownership. Is there any tech in particular that you're excited for that you and your team are using that have really helped you become more efficient?
Well, we switched it last year when, well, I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but when the whole 3.4 thing came into play, Kalex software was what we were using at the time. And like a lot of companies throughout the nation, brokers in particular, we made a switch over to Arrive, which is I find to be a great product. It's a web-based system. It's allowing us to manage everything from the application through status, through submissions process. Just a lot is done on our Arrive system. And just to kind of touch base on what you're talking about as far as technology, from my perspective, clients, especially the younger clients, and next year we're going to see a lot of first-time home buyers, a lot of the younger generation that's going to step in to buy over the next couple of years. They're expecting technology. So if you don't have tech, if you don't have an online application, and you don't have a good process to make it work and run it, because having the technology, it just doesn't do it by itself. You still have to have people that are going to enter data into the system. For me and my team, we have a dedicated marketing person. All that person does is literally update our database, update a lot of the things that we have to keep in play. And, you have to have that. That's like a necessity. But above and beyond the whole tech thing, being in the business, the one thing that I find that's consistent, it doesn't matter, with tech today or 10 years ago or what have you, the big thing that we're selling today is trust. When people trust you, when people like you, when they believe in you, and when I tell someone we're going to close in 25 days or 30 days or whatever the timeline is, and it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I don't have one loan that doesn't close. Every loan closes as far as I'm concerned, and when people trust you, they're going to refer you. And all the technology stuff, it's a bonus. It's just part of what we have to do. You got to have it to compete. But ultimately, we're a real big trust business. And, I can tell you, working with Jeff, I trust him. If he says something's going to happen, they're going to deliver. And from a broker standpoint, you have to work with companies that are going to have your back, that are going to take care of something. They can't do miracles for you. It's just business is business. We have to be real, but you're going to work with companies that you trust. And you have to have that tech part of it. You have to have basically the whole package today.
100%.
I think the key part there, Ramon, is look. I mean, what you're selling and what you're expecting is trust and relationships, and so you pick the technology that supports that, and then you get good at it. As the saying goes, "What's the best CRM system?" Hey, it's the one you use. So you got to pick the tech carefully so you don't end up chasing the shiny objects, and then go deep that it supports your overall mission and brand.
So David, to that point, let's talk about that just a little bit as we kind of start to wrap up tech here. Caliber has always been a leader in tech. They always, again, like you said, the best CRM is the one that we use, but you guys have always had a really good pulse on what originators are using, what you can do as the Caliber team to help originators be more efficient, be more effective. Is there any technology that you're excited about in this new year that you see as a way to help our brokers and help the community really become more efficient?
Well, I mean, look, Ramon mentioned Arrive. We're a partner there. So I would say, the first thing is we want to be where brokers are.
Sure.
Look, people are going to make their own decisions. We want to be there and make it easy. So we'll continue to try to build those kind of APIs and interfaces that support the broker to, again, build their business the way they want to. So that would be the first part, is to be flexible. The second thing is that through our portal and our own technology, we want to make it really easy. And so we've invested a lot over the last year in what we call our Blueprint portal, just to give, we have an amazingly powerful system in our legacy system, H2O. What we've done is invest in making it kind of iPhone easy. So it's just faster to get to where you're going. So people don't have to think about those kind of things. They can spend more time on relationships. So simplicity is what we're going for in that. And then the last thing I would say, something we're really excited in the first quarter is that we're totally redoing our approval, our customer or our loan approval that we send out, because we've gotten a lot of feedback that, it needs to be easy for both a broker, but also a customer to feel like, hey, this is a good thing. It's not overwhelming, the number of conditions, the complexity, and we want to be able to share these things and be transparent. And so again, we want to be an extension of our brokers, provide things that, again, build that confidence with their customers.
Well, I think that's a big part of it, is building that confidence. Ramon has talked about trusting Jeff and having an entire team that you can trust, count on, rely on. That's part of technology. And that's, Jeff mentioned this, we're all using phones these days, being able to collaborate as Ramon and his team are out there getting it done, having these conversations with his realtor partners or referral partners or whoever it is, being able to stay connected is, I think, a big part of technology, which is kind of, as we start to wrap things up, that's what I'm excited about in 2022 as well. And I believe you gentlemen are as well, is being able to collaborate, being able to work with other trusted brokers, being able to trust and have conversations with and collaborate with other people from around the country as other brokers listening to what they're doing, which is why David, you and I have talked about the Caliber Club. And the first rule of Caliber Club is we always talk about Caliber Club because we want to benefit the brokers. And I think this is one way that, again, I always talk about collaboration, but in particular, Ramon, for yourself, why are you excited? How are you excited to be being part of Caliber Club? What does it do for you to be able to collaborate with other brokers? How does that help you?
Well, as far as Caliber Club is concerned, there's a lot of benefits from a broker standpoint. If you meet certain requirements, from an EPO standpoint, they provide some assistance if that were to happen. I think that's really something that, from a broker standpoint, you never want to have to get that. And if that comes up, it's good to have a wholesale lender that you're working with that kind of has your back, that understands that if you've got a relationship with them, you're going to have, and obviously it's not every EPO per se, but that's just a simple little thing that I looked at as part of being part of that. Beyond that, there's just so much that Caliber has. It's hard for me to talk about here on the show, but all of the process, all the tools, all the things that they bring to a broker, that whole package, I think is a wonderful thing. And obviously they believe in the broker. They're investing a lot of money in making sure that our broker channel continues to thrive and grow, and all that is part of what they offer.
And I would just add, Josh, on the Caliber Club, as Ramon said, it's our way of recognizing the best of the best and being able to collaborate in a really meaningful way to help elevate their business. One of the things that we're releasing over the next month is, as I think everybody in the audience would know, we have our Reconnect program, where we take a lot of the algorithms and insights that we have from our direct-to-consumer retention efforts and pass some of that value back to our partners to be able to retain their relationships for life. We have a new exclusive lead for our Caliber Club partners coming up, just as a special recognition of that, because they've proven the ability to take care of those customers over time. So we continue to innovate and add to that program, again, with the intent of helping our partners grow.
That's all. And Jeff, you actually have, as an account executive, you kind of have this really cool role in my opinion, and I'm sure you think similar, is you get to help so many broker owners. You get to help these brokers, you get to help these originators. You get to hear these ideas. You get to hear what they're working on. And by no means are you ever sharing secrets, but you get to help them collaborate. Maybe it's connecting Ramon with another top broker, like you said, that's part of Caliber Club. You hear these success stories, Jeff, and you're able to say, like, hey, you know what? Let me connect you with, so-and-so from the Caliber Club, so you can see what they're doing. This might help you in 2022. That's a pretty unique role you have, Jeff.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of one of those things. Ramon could look at the mortgage company down the road from him as a competitor, and he is, but at the same time, it's one thing kind of about this industry is, like, even me as an account executive, I have a ton of account executive at competitors in my phone. I can call them up. We share ideas, kind of thing. And so, I have a great customer down here, loan officer, that does a lot of business with us. He's always game to share ideas. So, in conversations with Ramon or anybody else, sharing those ideas of what made you successful. It's something that I love about the mortgage industry. And going back to what we were talking about before, at the end of the transaction, there's a home buyer there. That's inevitably who we're all trying to help. And yes, we all get paid for what we do, but I think this industry really cares about that borrower at the end of it, whether it's putting them in a new home or cash out to help their kids go to college. But absolutely, to share stories of successes from Ramon to somebody else or vice versa, it's a great thing about the industry, and we do it every day, kind of thing. So success breeds success.
Oh, that's power. I like that, Jeff. See Having an account executive, that's what they're all about. They're there to help you continue to motivate and to think about these things. Guys, I want to start wrapping this up here. This has been absolutely brilliant. As we do, I'd love to get your guys' final takeaways. We all have goals. We all have opportunities this next year that we're going to try to achieve. So let's leave our audience. Let's leave all of our originator community here with maybe just one little tip. How are you going to achieve your goals? What are some of the things that you personally are going to be doing to make sure you achieve those goals? Ramon, let's start with you.
Well, I can tell you from my side of things, I'm moving in about a month and a half to Florida. So we're licensed in Florida. I'm planning on casting a wider net. We're going to start doing some purchase business in the Florida market. I know how to get business. I know the process of what we need to do to get it, and we're excited about expanding over there. While we do that, we're still going to continue to do what we do here in Southern California. So, we expect to grow. And part of my growth plan is to just basically cast a wider net, and that's what we're doing.
I love that. I think that's good. Going into a new marketplace, you got to be able to cast that wider net. And like Jeff, you've mentioned, collaborating with other people in the market. Sometimes we think as mortgage professionals going from one market to another, some of the practices, like you mentioned in the very beginning, the block and tackling and the foundations are similar, but being able to collaborate with others in the area who maybe understand the market a little bit more, that's going to be key to success. So Ramon, I love that. Jeff, what about yourself? What are some of the things you're going to be doing this next year to achieve your goals?
Well, Dave's goals are going to roll down to my goals. So it's kind of a little bit easy for me, right? I'm an originator at the end of the day, and I have to deliver kind of thing. So a past life, a long time ago, I actually was a mechanical engineer, which is kind of interesting to be in an account executive now. But I figured out where I should really be. And this is, with my ADD, I think this is my industry for me. And so where I'm going with it is that I can take the volume that I would like to fund in a year, and I know Dave would be happy with those numbers. I can break it down by average loan size. We know what that is. And then I really bring that data back to, the number of locks in business that I need to bring in every day, the pull through that I have to hit. And it tells me exactly what I have to do. And that goes back to touch points, and touch points for my customers like Ramon. It's not touch points of them coming to me. It's actually me going to them. So whether it's outbound calls in a day, number of loan officers I need to see, in office visits, it's a set number that I have to hit, and it'll bring those numbers to my originations for the year. So I'm ready for 2022. Let's roll.
Jeff, you're a numbers guy. You can see like, hey, this is what I got to do this, got to do this, got to do this to achieve this. So I like that.
That's right.
All right, David, let's wrap it up with you. I know that you guys have some big aspirations, some big goals for 2022. You're excited to help our broker community and our family. What are some of the things you personally doing to achieve your goals in this next year?
Look, I would, a couple things. First of all, there's a high level of focus. If you have 10 goals, you don't have any. It's kind of like, in the NFL, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you probably don't have one. As far as a starter goes. So we got to be really clear about the things that mean the most. And like I said, we've started those conversations over the last several weeks, and going into 2022, we're getting a lot of clarity. And that's not to say we'll only achieve one thing, but we're going to put all of our effort into one thing and then move into the next. The second thing that I would say is, we're getting really clear on the why, like who's going to benefit from it? How does this make an impact in people's lives, so that everybody has clarity, like we were saying, and they understand the role in doing that, from our partners all the way through to myself. What should I be doing every day to support that? And then finally, we got to make sure the commitment's there. I want to make $1 billion, but I don't know if I've got the means to do that. So, you got to make sure that you understand what it's going to take to achieve those goals. And that, one, you have the resource, and 2, you got the commitment all the way through, that everyone will do their part to get there. And so again, most of that is about communication and collaboration, and then you move to execution and win.
Dave, this is why you're one of the top leaders in the industry. Dude, you gave me goosebumps there with the commitment. Like, that's a big one. Like, this is exactly why we love having these conversations, because everybody listening, everybody participating today, you've got a little bit of something. From Ramon to Jeff to David, sharing all these little tidbits. You can make 2022 the best year ever. And it's these little shares that we've given you today. Go out and execute them. I love what David said. Don't give yourself too many goals, because if you have 10, if you have 20 goals, you're never going to be able to execute on all of them. Get granular. Focus on, commit to doing them, and you're going to hit those goals. Gentlemen, I cannot thank you guys enough. This has been an absolutely brilliant episode. You guys have shared so much. This has been incredibly valuable to all of our originator community out there. So thank you guys so much for joining me today.
Thank you, sir. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays indeed to everybody out there. Guys, you're incredible. As always, we are here for you. If you need help, reach out to us. If you're part of the Caliber Club, they're there to collaborate. You're there to help one another. And this next year, we're going to be able to do so much more together. With that, as always, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. We love you. Happy holidays. And don't forget to shred. Go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.